All right, public service announcement. Want to let you know that today is the episode where Allie will be doing the show on her own. We do this to just give a diverse opinion about what's going on with the world. And so you don't always hear me, you don't always hear her. And it also gives us a break to where we don't have to be together in the studio in the evening, so we take up a lot of time. So just sit back and listen to Allie doing For the Culture by herself.
This is Allie.
And this is David.
And you're listening to For the Culture.
I tell them take a picture, man. It'll last longer. Hit the gas on them. Hit a dance on them. Take no chance on them. Get the cash on them. Flip it fast on them. Take off the mask on them. Show the world who you are.
Happy Independence Day. So yesterday, Remy Ma and PAPOOSE, they renewed their vows, and it was such for a beautiful ceremony. I say it like like I was there. But the couple, they've been married for 10 years now. They've been married since 2008, and the first time they were officially married, they actually got married over the phone. She was serving time in prison, in a New York State prison, and she served just under 7 years. And the reason they had to do it over the phone was because allegedly the one time when PAPOOSE came to visit her, he was smuggling in a key. I don't understand what the key would have been for, but him smuggling in the key, it put him on suspension from seeing her. And they had already, made the plans that they wanted to get married in person, but because of this alleged smuggling incident, he was suspended from being able to visit her for 6 months. And so they had to perform the ceremony over the phone. So they were officially married in 2008. And Rem, she served just under 7 years in a New York State prison. And then when she came out in 2015, 8 plus 7, 8 plus 7 is 15. When she came out in 2015, they were both on Love and Hip Hop New York. And I had never watched that show before because it just all seemed to run into each other. They all seemed the same. But when I found out that they were going to be on the show, I was like, oh, let me give it a try. Let me check it out. And I watched it for a couple of episodes, but then after that, they all ran into each other. I honestly think they could cut out another 30 minutes of the video, but that's just my personal opinion. And so this information is secondhand. It's not like I watched and I could tell you like, oh, they did this, they did that. So it's all secondhand research. I didn't watch the show for myself, but on the Love and Hip Hop New York season that they were featured on, they had a ceremony. They had what they were calling a fairy tale wedding, and this particular ceremony, I want to guess that it was paid by the producers of Love and Hip Hop New York, so that it could go along with the storyline for Remy Ma and PAPOOSE, where it's this couple that have been through a very difficult situation. They came through on top. They're still supporting each other. They're still there for each other. And they're building a life for each other. So, going along with this, and everybody wants to, lift them up for being a Black couple. So they're like, let's lift them up. Let's keep going with this storyline. So they had their fairy tale wedding, but then yesterday they posted that they renewed their vows in a very intimate setting. So they just had family and close friends, and this was to celebrate 10 years of marriage. And I personally like the idea of an intimate ceremony because that's what my husband and I did for our wedding. We got married in Hawaii, and then when we came back to the mainland, we had a small reception in Maryland, which is, smack dab in the middle of the East Coast, so everybody could drive there within like 5 or 6 hours. And so I like the idea of having something small and intimate where you just have family and close friends. And that's what they did. And Papoos's suit, in my opinion, it was really nice. He had on a baby blue blazer and tie and some white slacks. And then Rem's dress and her veil, they were both floor length. And it was made out of this like white tulle material. And then it had these small lavender and baby blue flowers on it. And once they revealed their second set of news, then it clicked to me like, oh, I see why they went with this color scheme. And so the second set of news, besides the wedding renewal or the vow renewal, was that they were expecting. And so this is going to be their first child together. So Rem, she has a son from a previous relationship, and then Papoose, he has 3 children from a previous relationship. And so this is their first child that they're having together. And I learned that they were expecting before, but unfortunately they lost the baby. And they shared this journey on Love and Hip Hop New York. They shared that they were expecting, and then unfortunately Remy, she had an ectopic pregnancy. And that's when, instead of the fertilized egg traveling through the fallopian tube and maturing inside the uterus where it's supposed to, it actually started maturing in her fallopian tubes. And when that happens, of course, the space that's not where it's supposed to develop. And so her fallopian tube stretched until they burst. And she had internal bleeding, and they had to remove her fallopian tube. And I'm making it singular, even though this is something that unfortunately happened to her before in her teenage years. And I saw a clip on the reel where she was sharing that her very first pregnancy, this happened to her, and she was just in extreme pain. At first she didn't realize what it was, but she was in extreme pain, and it turned out that it was an ectopic pregnancy. They had to remove one of her fallopian tubes, and she had a lot of internal bleeding. And unfortunately this happened another time, but I'm happy that they felt comfortable enough to share this experience, because it's hard and it's difficult, but it's real life. It's real life. Things like this happen. And for them to show that, hey, yes, we had this unfortunate accident, but we kept trying. And so what they ended up having to do was to do an in vitro fertilization, IVF. And that's how Remy was able to get pregnant this time around. And when she made the announcement, she said that she's 4 months along, 16 weeks, and statistically, this is the safe zone. Statistically, this is the time when, okay, the likelihood of going full term, the likelihood is a lot higher. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they're sticking it through, that they're showing that even with all of these adversities and these obstacles, that you can pull through, and you can make a successful and happy blended family. And I love that they're showing this as an example, because this is exactly how a lot of families are, where, you have 2 separate partners coming together with their own children, with their own past, and then they're making it work together. So I'm really happy for this couple, and I can't wait for their gender reveal. I don't know if they're going to do something big, or if they're going to wait until the end, where, wait until the delivery. I don't know what they're going to do, but if they do, not a surprise, but an outlandish gender reveal, I'll tune in to see what it's like. And I just want to say congratulations, and I'm happy for them.
Take a picture, man. It'll last longer. Hit the gas on them. Hit a dance on them. Take no chance on them. Get the cash on them. Flip it fast on them. Take off the mask.